Hello and welcome to this video from FaceGraph. My name is Ahmed and I'm going to walk you through how you can use SmileMeIn at daycare and preschools. We're going to look at two things: how parents can walk into schools using SmileMeIn and have their kids checked in. We're also going to look at how an administrator at school or a teacher can look at attendance records. How can they look at user records, and how they can manage attendance, export reports, and so on. This is going to be a demonstration of how can we use facial recognition to empower the attendance reporting at schools. All right, so SmileMeIn allows you to manage school records. That includes, student records, children, staff members, employees, and teachers. And this is important because if you want to do anything for those users, you need to have the records, and we have the ability to import them from different systems today. So first thing, you go to the SmileMeIn portal. You go to portal.smileme.in and log in with your user, and this shows you this dashboard. This dashboard will show different important information about your organization, things like how many people checked in so far, whether they are students or teachers. And obviously you want to see more green. That indicates that you have more people checked in so far today. And then we have a display of the rooms. We have this concept of rooms. Those rooms can be classrooms, could be different departments and so on. So we have butterfly room, only one person checked in out of two, and then Smiley is complete. So this concept of rooms and location is important because some organizations, schools may have more than one location. So you have the ability to have these different locations treated separately, yet to have the ability to have a view for all of them. And these locations can be in different cities or could be in the same city. So I have a location called Chicago. So if I want to manage users, I go to users. So this is a place where administrators actually work on, a lot in the beginning. So make sure all the users in the system are entered. Those could be, guardians, could be children, could be employees, and so on. And each user will have a profile that defines, which room they belong to, which location they belong to. And depending on their guardians, they can have the children listed, and so on. So if I scroll here, I can see, so Ahmed, which is me at the moment, is, he's a member, he's an employee in the company. So he's an administrator, and he also has his children go to that school, Emilia and Devan. So both of them show up as his children, or dependents for that matter. So he can do attendance for them on their behalf. So we'll take a look at rooms. So you have the ability to have rooms. So that shows the number of rooms you have. You can add additional rooms. And then you have the concept of locations, where you can have multiple locations within the organization. So we talked about messages. How do you send messages? You go to the communication section here. You can send emails to parents, staff directly, or you can even text them, send them a text message. In the countries we support, obviously. And you have the ability to have messages sent to their phone app directly, or show up in the tablet app through the scheduled messages. So we'll focus today about attendance. We're going to look at manage attendance and attendance reports in a minute after the demo. So this is where you can extract reports for attendance or even correct attendance records if needed. Two last things, monthly usage. So this is another dashboard that shows you, numbers that are important to your subscription. So how many users you have today. So you have 12 users out of 20 in your subscription tier. It also shows how many of them are active, how many of them are children, guardians, and so on. So this is important to understand where you stand. You can even look at previous month. And then lastly, we have general settings. So general settings is basically what you set at the very beginning of setting up your subscription. So it defines the time zone where your school operates at, because this can be operating in different locations. It could be operating in Central Time Zone, Pacific Time Zone, or other time zones if you're outside the US. And you also have the ability to choose the date format, and enter the address, the legal name, the licensing number for your school, and so on. So what I'm going to do today, we're going to do a demo of a parent walking into the school and then signing in and signing in their kids and having and looking at those attendance records basically. So here we are, we have our tablet running. So the tablet app, this time I'm doing a demonstration using iPad. And you can see here, I can just go back. This is just a normal iPad. I'm just sharing the screen, and I'm using the Smile Me and Operate app right there. And you can use iPad or Android. It depends on what you're looking at, what kind of devices you have. And you have this iPad or Android device mounted to the wall or in a holder inside the school. And what happens in the morning or in the afternoon, the parents will come in. All they have to do is just really walk in. So I'm gonna actually mimic someone just walking in. And once you come in front of the device, it'll recognize who you are. It starts doing attendance recognition for you, shows you all the kids that belong to you. And if you leave it, automatically it will have you signed in. You can obviously uncheck the children that aren't really signing in today because they're absent, they're sick, for example, or you can leave it on and it will automatically just accept your attendance directly after the message counter expires. I can obviously do submit and it will go ahead and record it for me. So now it tells me, okay, you're successfully signed in, you're done. So from that point onward, I'm already signed in. I haven't had to do anything. You just stand in front of the device and it will capture your attendance. And you're good to go. If you were actually still standing there and it just takes automatically another picture of you, it tells you, hey, by the way, you already signed in this amount of time ago. So we can prevent any accidental sign outs. But if you want to sign out now for any reason, you forgot something, you need to pick up your son, there's an emergency, you can hit sign out and that will go ahead and sign out for you. So now that we've done sign in through the Operate app, the tablet at school, as a user, I also receive a notification to my phone. So what you're seeing on the screen here is basically a mirrored screen of my phone. And you can see I received through the Smile Me and Connect app on the phone, in this case iPhone, I received a notification here that says that I've just signed in. This is helpful because our future is we're going to remove those tablets and we're going to use the cameras on the premises. Or even with the tablets today, when you walk in and it automatically captures you and do a sign-in for you, you'll be notified so you know it happened. So if I click on it, I'll go ahead and start logging into the system. So I have, this is a demo, so I'm just going to switch to my QA environment. And I can use Face ID, the Face ID feature of iPhone to log in instead of using credentials. So that's going to get me in. And once I sign in there, you can see, get a dashboard of, the users that I manage as a parent. In this case, I'm a parent. I do have 2 children, Emilio and Devon, and you can see them. They have been signed in successfully at these times. And this app is really just to give control to the parent to do, handle the recording of attendance, look at attendance reports as well from the parent side. But not only this, it also allows them to enroll into the FaceGraph facial recognition, so they can take pictures, and that would be under Face Profile. So I can go to Face Profile and look at my pictures for enrolling into Face ID, as well as enrolling my children. So if I want my children to do attendance, I can go ahead and click Enroll, and that will allow me to have them enrolled into attendance. So if I click on Edit here, I'll show you the pictures that I use to enroll in facial recognition. We use this to train the system on your face. So you can definitely control this from here. And I also have the ability to see a history of all the pictures taken to my face. So I can control this, I can delete them, I can use them as a profile, and so on. In addition to this, I also manage the list of children that I'm responsible of as a guardian. It could be you're picking up your friend's child, so you can see them here. And obviously you have the ability to do attendance directly from the phone. So I can go, this is the report. I can go see the report of my attendance for myself as an employee, in that case, as well as for my kids as for my kids as a parent. So I can see here when I signed in, what time I signed out, and how much time I spent on that specific day. I also can do attendance, so I can go and say record attendance. I can do attendance And this is helpful because if the internet is out, the tablet is not working, or you dropped off your kitty right next to the school, you can do attendance. So in that case, if we want to sign out, I can go ahead and do that. But guess what? If you try to do attendance away from the school, so you left the premises, you went home, it will actually detect that you're not in the location of premises and give you an error message. So you definitely have to be around the premises if the school doesn't allow you to do sign in from outside the premises. We're also working on a few additional features where we're going to allow users to do lunch orders, as well as communicate with teachers directly from the phone. So that is coming up for parents. Okay, so last thing we want to do here is we want to take a look at how you can look and manage attendance from the SmileMe portal. So I'm going to go to manage attendance and go to children. So I expect to see these 2 children signed in and signed out. For this demo, I've done 4 different sign in and sign out during the day. And this is helpful in case of employees because they can sign out and go have lunch and come back, and you want to know exactly how long they work. But in the case of children here, you don't really usually do more than a sign in and a sign out a day. But if you want to see the details of all these sign in and sign out, you can just click on details. It shows you that who signed in at what time and by what parent. In that case, it's myself. So I did drop them off at this time, pick them up at this time, and so on. So a few times you can obviously delete them and edit them. And if you do as an administrator, it's going to log that under your name, not the parent name, so we know who's done it. So this allows you to see and manage attendance, and more often sometimes you have parents who forget to sign in, which could be a problem because school licensing for preschool and daycare in a lot of the states here in the US require schools to keep attendance records. In that case, you can find out when they signed in, and you can actually do a bulk sign in. So these are things that are not available on the systems. You can just select all and say, hey, I'm going to do an update, and I'm going to do a sign in for all these guys because they signed in at 7 o'clock, as opposed to do them one by one. So you can do that as well. And you can do this for the current day, or you can go to a previous day, and so on. We have the ability to help the administrator just to look at those who forgot to sign in, or forgot to sign out. So you can just look at these reports directly and manage them. These are really just to manage attendance, not really to do reporting. So you see there is no export here. So I'm going to go to staff, same thing. I can look at this person and see when that person signed in and signed out. That in that case, it's myself as an employee. Additionally, if this employee has taken a lunch time and he hasn't recorded it, you can do it for them. So you can select that person and say, I'm going to add, and in that case, I'm actually adding a time off. He basically took a time off from a specific time to a specific time. So let's say he took a time off from 12 to 1 p.m., which is usually when people take lunch. So we just try to pre-fill it for you. So you don't have to, you don't have to go ahead and enter the times, but obviously you can change them if you like. So this helps you basically log time off for lunch. And if it's outside the range where they were, at work, it will just give you an error like this. So obviously I signed in at 3 o'clock and I signed out at 4. So I have to do something in the middle. So I'm just going to do 4 and maybe 4:10. So we'll just do that and then click save. And that's going to go through. So it has those checks that will help you understand, or enter the data correctly. We also have this view for monthly view for employees, so you can see how long a certain employee is working per month. You can use this for payroll. So in that case, I have this person worked an hour. So if we jump quickly to reports, so I'm going to go to detail the children daily report. So that shows the things that we saw in manage attendance, but in a report format. Show history helps you look at people who left the school. So you still have the ability to go back 10 years if you like. And you can also export that to PDF. So I can just get that as a PDF. Or I can get it in an Excel file, and that's helpful for reporting or auditing. So this is very important for licensing as well. So this is a PDF report, as you see here. It has the logo of the company and the details. And I can do the same thing with basically with an Excel sheet, so you can edit it and so on. So let me go ahead and switch back to the portal again. So with these reports, you can do this for employees as well as children. So this is the staff report. So same thing. You have the ability to get that report out. And then there is the monthly report. This is important for payroll. So you can say, hey, just give me October. I want to see how many hours each employee worked. Are they 40 hours? So I can pay them 40 hours, especially for paid employees, our hourly employees. Those are the ones you want to get the number for them. So hopefully this walkthrough will give you a quick idea of the module around attendance tracking. So this is just a single module that we focused on, which we've spent a lot of effort to make it a lot easier than any traditional method of username and password or even facial recognition systems. We believe that this is going to make attendance very seamless, less intrusive, and secure. Thank you.